So, now we've created a calculator and populated it with some data, what next? How does that help us reduce our CO2 emissions across our organisation? Firstly, we can go to the dashboard section here. This provides a graphical overview in the form of charts so you can now see where your biggest numbers are across the 3 scopes. You can select the checkboxes here to show and hide. For example, if you only wanted to show scope 3, then you would uncheck the others. You can select any of these options to make it more visually appealing or easier to read depending on the number of entries. You can also switch between calculators in your organisation. This is a constant throughout the app, the ability to switch between calculators in every app section. But for the purposes of this demo, we're now focusing on London. We can see where the most usage is quite easily. If we go to the KPI and action section, we can see a bit more information. Specifically, the top 10 contributors to your CO2 footprint. Material use electrical items, IT, is very high in this calculator. We can set key point indicators or KPIs here too. This list in the drop-down includes everything you have 1 or more entries for in this calculator. We created an entry for domestic coal earlier on, so we can create a KPI by simply clicking this button. This will generate the earliest point and the latest or current point. Now in this case, we only created 1 entry, so they are the same. What you then do is to add the target, what you would like to get to. We'll put 750 for this entry. Let's select another couple of KPIs. We'll select wood chips and create the KPI, and we'll also select the biggest one we've got, electrical items IT. Both of these have more than 1 entry. Looking at wood chips, you can see that in January 2022, this started as 45, and it's come down slightly to 41 by December 2023. If we select a target point here that's higher than the current point, then it should be green, because at the current point we have already met and exceeded our target. Electrical items is also on the right track and dropping over time. If we select a target number that's lower than these points, it will show as an amber because it's going down but has not yet met the target point. If the numbers are going up over time and getting further away from the target, then this will show as red. So that's setting the KPI targets, and you can work with our consultants who will advise and help you with what those targets should look like. Now we need to look at putting some actions into place to help achieve those targets and track those actions. So we offer a Kanban board for this purpose, something that I'm sure you've seen elsewhere in your organisation. We're going to add 4 lanes here and give each of them a name: backlog, in progress, blocked, and complete. We then add some tasks. For example, replace vehicle fleet with electric. And we can put a further description in there: as contracts expire, replace with electric vehicles. We can also set a target date. The target date in this case will obviously depend on when your contracts expire, which may be some time away. We will select the 30th of April 2026. You can create as many tasks as you want. Let's create a second example task with a target date that might be slightly earlier. Once you have these created, you can drag them from column to column depending on the status of that project. The idea of a Kanban board is simply to get from the left to the right of the board as quickly as possible. If you go past your target date here, this box will go red.